Good afternoon, aspiring businesswomen. I hope you are well. Thank you for joining us. If you are joining us, if you're watching us on the replay, don't forget to say hi. I have with me this afternoon a friend of mine called Su Winsbury, who I've known for about 18 months now. And she's been into this whole energy woo-woo stuff a lot longer than I have. And I wanted her to come on and share some of her wisdom with us this afternoon. So, Sue, you have a business called Awaken the Woman Within.
I do. And that is exactly what I like to do. I like to wake people up from the inside out.
And you use lots of different modalities to do that, don't you?
I do. I've got 16 years background as a holistic therapist, so I've been working with bodies and energy for a long time.
And do you have a preferred modality or not really?
That's a very good question. I like to mix things up depending on who I'm working with at the time. So I will draw on all my little pieces of knowledge training. So I don't have a prescriptive way I work. I just see who I've got with me and pull on things depending what they need on the day.
Do you find that some people are more receptive to one type of modality than another?
Yes, definitely. So I love using our wonderful EAM tool.
Yes.
Super powerful, and we know how quickly that can work. For some of the people I work with, EFT is better. Excuse me. It just suits them better. They get better effects. Sometimes I would just do some Reiki, and I blend coaching in with everything. But I love my EAM.
Yeah, I know it is amazing, but that's not what we're talking about today. Today, I want you to educate me more about chakras because the only time I'd really come across chakras prior to EAM was when I'd had a session of Reiki, and she was like, "And this is this and this," and I was like, "Yeah, whatever," because obviously you can't feel them, you can't see them. Didn't really know they existed. I now know that there's 114 or something. Tell me more about chakras and which are the main ones.
Okay, so I am going to focus on our main ones for today. So we have 7 main chakras in our body. And the word chakra is a Sanskrit for wheel. And these chakras are essentially spinning wheels of energy that sit in our body.
See, I didn't even know it meant wheel in Sanskrit. I didn't even know that.
There you are, you've learned something
There, learned
already.
something.
So because they are essentially wheels of energy, and they sit along our spine and coincide with major nerve roots and organs. So each chakra, it links in with emotions, it links in with organs. They all have different colours. They can be open, they can be closed, they can be anything in between.
Okay. So what are they all then, and where are they? I know you said they're on the spine, but I mean, I'm proud to say I do now know where these 7 chakras are. But you please educate us.
Okay, so our 7 main chakras. We start with our root chakra, which is at the base of our spine. So kind of where your coccyx and your pubic bone is. So that's your root, and it's normally red in colour. We then have our sacral chakra, which is just below our belly button, and that is normally depicted as an orange colour. We have our solar plexus, which is kind of just under our diaphragm, and that is yellow. We then have our heart, which is middle of our chest, so sort of here, rather than over your physical heart, it's more of the centre of the body. And that is usually green. Sometimes it can be depicted as pink. Then we have our throat chakra, which is an light blue. We have our brow, which is an indigo, and our crown, which can be white or violet.
And they all link, like you said, they link to emotions and things like that. So, for example, I know that the throat chakra is linked to communication.
Yes. Yeah.
So what are all the other ones linked to?
Okay, so I'll start from the bottom and work my way
I'm
up.
going to try and make notes for people whilst you do it. Okay, root.
So our root chakra is this is about keeping us grounded. It's about our connection with the earth and feeling secure, safe, stable. It's really feeling that stability and that security. And if it's would you like me to go into what happens if they're overactive or underactive, or should we do that later?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so if your root is overactive, you can feel very ungrounded, very much up in your head. You know, sometimes people feel like ungrounded people are very, very spinny in their heads and quite disconnected from real life in some sense, and very
Are they the people that I might describe as airy fairy, away with the fairies?
They can be very away with the fairies. They can also be, if it's overactive, very anxious, very fearful, and very much in a survival mode. So very much sort of in that adrenal fight or flight kind of phase.
Okay.
If it's underactive, it's the opposite. So they can be lacking security, not feeling like they belong, and quite a lot of lack of finance, poverty is connected with being sort of an under open root chakra.
Okay, we'll go through them all, and afterwards you can tell us what to do if they're over or under active.
Okay. Yeah. The sacral chakra, that is very much connected with our relationship with ourselves. It is the seat of our emotions. It's about being balanced in our well-being. It is our creative expression, our personal expression, sensual pleasure area, and about our evolution. So this is because of it's kind of over your reproductive area. So it's very much connected with giving and receiving as well. So this is also an area that we call our hara, and the lower chakras are part of our hara, and they are really key to being able to receive. So your sacral chakra, if it is overactive, there tends to be a lot of drama in your relationships or drama in your life. There can be a distinct lack of boundaries, particularly personal boundaries. And you can be quite over-emotional, which goes along with the drama. Mm-hmm. If it's underactive, then again, the opposite. So very unemotional, lack of self-worth, and there can be quite a lot of feelings of shame and guilt connected with an underactive sacral chakra.
Okay, cool.
So the next one, our solar plexus. This is the seat of your personal power.
I feel like this is one of the most common chakras, as in that people are more aware of your solar plexus than anything else. Maybe it's just me.
No, I think you're absolutely right. And none of them are more important than the other, but I think more awareness of this because sometimes when you meet someone and they might say something, it's almost like you've been punched in the stomach when you get that kind of like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. I think it kind of goes right into that solar plexus. It's a lot of stuff going on in there. It's a powerful one. So it's about our momentum and being able to move forward, self-esteem issues, being able to trust our intuition along with our higher chakras. This is one that I feel is very intuitive, which I guess is where it becomes sort of more well known because a lot of our intuition comes in through our solar plexus. It's also connected with spontaneity. If it's overactive, people can be prone to being very self-critical, a lot of perfectionist tendencies. They can be quite aggressive and quite controlling. And if it's underactive, there can be a lot of worry, being very passive, indecisive, and a real lack of direction, which obviously in business is quite important.
Yes, it is.
So those three are all, the lower chakras, they're all kind of more connected with the physical and with matter. And then as we move up through the body, these are more spiritual chakras, more connected with our soul and higher consciousness.
Okay.
So we move on up to our heart, our source of love and connection. And this kind of the heart chakra is a bridging between the lower chakras and the higher chakras. It's about love of ourself and connection with ourself, but also with others. So your heart energy is really powerful.
Which isn't surprising, is it? Because it's where our heart, when you say about connecting to ourselves and with others, and you say it's more powerful, I believe it's 10,000 times more powerful energetically than our brain.
Yes, yeah, it has a huge electromagnetic field, so we are constantly emitting this field from our heart. So our heart chakra is all about connection, balance, being in flow, giving and receiving, acceptance and compassion. So it's a lovely chakra.
And it's green, did you say?
Green, or sometimes it's depicted as pink.
Yeah. I just wonder why green. That was all. I don't expect you to know that. It's just not a colour that I would associate with the heart.
I always find it's interesting because green, I think people often associate with jealousy.
Yeah. See, for me, I thought grounding because of grass.
Well, makes sense. You kind of think the root would be a nice grass, wouldn't you?
But yes, exactly. But it's not.
But no, we've got green up here. Green or pink?
Green or pink?
Yeah.
Go on then.
So if it's overactive, then that will give rise to feelings of being jealous, being critical, needy, and not honouring yourself. And if it's underactive, then people tend to be cold, a bit distant, feeling abandoned, or they can feel just blocked emotionally.
Somebody's put it's to do with the rainbow colours of healing, green. Now I'm going to suspect that that's Esther, but I don't know because it doesn't show me on here, so I'm going to use my phone to find out who's written in there, and I shall let you know. There you go. Carry on.
Thank you. So moving on to throat, and as we said, yes, throat is all about expression, communication, speaking our inner truth. It's being able to
honoring yourself. Oh, sorry.
Thoughts and feelings. It's also about responsibility for our own needs, self-knowledge, and business-wise, it's about being related to your career, being your chosen path. So an overactive throat chakra will be somebody who's overly talkative. You know, some people just cannot stop talking. It can also be someone who's very critical, unable to listen, and sometimes quite condescending in how they talk to other people. Whereas underactive, shy, fear of speaking, being a people pleaser, having a bit of a lack of self-purpose. And often if people have got sort of regular throat issues, it will be that they're not expressing themselves or
not speaking their truth,
biting their tongue, holding back. So it's all about speaking.
It is, yes.
And always speaking with love.
And so the next one is the brow.
Brow. So your brow, this is very much connected to our intuition. It's got heavy links with psychic ability, our foresight, being able to distinguish truth from illusion. It's a new way of seeing.
And I learned that myself earlier this year, didn't I?
As Claire certainly discovered the opening of her brow chakra in.
It's also not just it's our third eye, isn't it?
It's quite often called our third eye, and it's linked to the pineal gland. So the pineal gland can actually get quite clogged up by things like fluoride, dairy. So it's quite good to sort of keep our pineal gland as clear as possible. So
that's the dog, if you can hear him. I'm sorry. Oh dear. Okay.
Just need some love. So an overactive brow chakra can be a lack of focus, being very out of touch, a lack of judgment, almost being too much in this energy rather than having any grounding, lacking concentration. Whereas if it's underactive, it can be in direction, completely ignoring intuition, being very stuck in the past and not connecting to your soul. And I know from my own personal experience, when I haven't listened to my intuition, I have kicked myself.
I'm a massive believer in trusting the gut instinct, my intuition, and it's proven me right on so many occasions. But just going back to our third eye, I have this amazing number 11 just here. And the reason I won't go down the Botox route is because I've been told it will freeze my intuition, my third eye. So my number 11 is here to stay. So if you ever see me doing like this on bit, it's because I'm trying to flatten it out.
Keep it. It's good.
Yes. And then we go to our
crown. So this is our very much connected with our highest state of consciousness, with linking to our highest self, kind of the meeting point of the body and the soul. So it's a very, very spiritual, connected chakra. It's kind of being able to be open to the wider universe, to guides, angels, whatever people like to believe.
The word that comes to me when I think of crown chakra is enlightenment.
Yeah.
And
it's universal connection. It's sort of having that divine connection.
Yes. And that's a lovely lilac colour, is it? Is that
lilac or white?
Yeah. Mine's lilac. Enough of that whiteness. So that's the 7 chakras. Yes. People might be listening to this and going, that she's just described me, that's me. What do people do if they suspect that they've got an overactive or an underactive chakra?
Well, aside from using an EAM method, I would suggest tap into whether you have the behaviours, the feelings, the thoughts that we've covered related to each one. You can really just align them yourself mostly through meditation. But even if you're not into meditation, just sit and think about each of those colours in each of those areas, and imagine either a spinning disc in there opening, or quite often people imagine a flower opening up. So for your roots, you can just sit and imagine a red flower opening up. Sacral, it will be an orange flower, then a yellow flower, then a green or a pink flower, a light blue one, dark blue one, and a lilac one. And that's a very, very simple way of just kind of opening your chakras up and getting them more in alignment, more in flow.
And is it true that wearing colours of the chakra can help as well?
Yep, definitely wearing colours of those chakras will help your body kind of connect with those. You can use crystals. Crystals can be great. Getting out, grounding yourself, I think, is really important. So whether it's standing out barefoot in the grass, which is the best, but it doesn't have to be grass. It can be sand, it can be earth, it can be your patio, it can be your living room carpet. It's but grounding and imagining having that connection through your feet into the earth is really important.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have any daily rituals?
Do I have daily rituals? I do have quite a few daily rituals. In fact, sometimes I think I almost need to get up before I've gone to bed to
To do them?
do them all.
Yeah. Any in particular to your chakras or not?
I use my body sway to check whether my chakras are open. So
Yeah.
I will literally just use my sway, say, are my chakras all 100% open? Are they all open to maximum capacity? And are they all spinning in the right direction? Because sometimes our chakras, they all spin in different directions. So it starts off, it's clockwise from the bottom, then the next one's anti-clockwise, then clockwise, clockwise, and so it goes on. So it's a good idea to check that they are actually spinning in the right direction as well as being open.
Yeah, and that's one thing I do myself and with clients as well, because even just opening them can make a big difference, can't it? Because like you said at the beginning, they're energy centers, and we both work with energy. Now you're much more experienced than I am, but knowing how to change that energy into flowing energy is
Makes
massive.
so much difference. Yeah. And I've worked with so I think one of my clients had she had a lot of relationship problems, and she was constantly attracting difficult relationships into her life, and her heart chakra was completely blocked.
Yeah.
So we released it, we opened it up, and she could instantly feel the difference, and she's been attracting different kinds of relationships into her life ever since.
Well, that led me nicely into this last bit of making a difference to our lives and our business. How can chakras make that difference? If people are new to this and they're not really getting the link, what would your best advice be to help them make a difference to their lives?
Well, your chakras, everything energetic affects everything in your life. And if your chakras are out of balance, so let's say you are, if you're not in receiving mode, then that doesn't just affect you personally, emotionally, it affects your business as well. So it's so important to have your chakras aligned, to have them open, so that because your personal life drives your business, your energetic being drives your business. If you're blocked in one area, if you're unable to communicate, it's going to affect your business. So
it's everything, isn't it?
Absolutely everything.
It really is.
And so much of our business is driven by the energy behind it. It's the things that we say. It's the way.
I was going to say, whether it be communication or creativity, that comes from down in the hara, doesn't it? And
that just connection. It's all energetic.
Having inspiration coming in from who knows where when those downloads appear for us.
Yeah, it's all super powerful.
It is. So your business is Awaken the Woman Within. Do you have a Facebook group?
I do, and remarkably, it's called Awaken the Woman Within.
How incredible. So if people wanted to come in, what kind of things are going on in your Facebook group?
So we are very much about personal growth, spiritual growth, awakening to new consciousness. We're going through huge shifts on the earth right now. So it's about raising your vibration, awakening your own consciousness, awakening to who you are as yourself, but as a bigger being as well.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much, Su Winsbury. Thank you for coming on in, and I will speak to you soon. And if anybody wants any more information about Su, I'll be sending it all out on an email as well, this video and links to your group too. Okay. So thank you very much. Bye-bye, everybody else, for now, and I will be on here again soon. Ta-ta!